Hello, this is Mr. Hassel again with another music theory lesson. Today we're on Unit 8, Lesson 33. We're going to talk about intervals. Now the word interval is just a big fancy word that means the distance between two notes. An interval in music is the distance in pitch between two notes. The interval is counted from the lower note to the higher note, with the lower note counted as 1. So you see here, from a C to a D, this would be called a second. From a C up to an E, you skip this D, that's called a third. So always count the bottom note as 1. Intervals are named by the number of the upper note, seconds, thirds, and so on, with two exceptions. The interval between notes that are identical is called a unison, also called a prime interval. The interval of an eighth is also called an octave. The intervals below are written with C as the lower note. So you see a C to a C is called unison or prime. A C up to a D is a second. A C to an E is a third. A C to an F is a fourth. A C to a G is a fifth. A C up to an A is a sixth. A C up to a B is a seventh. And a C up to a C is an octave or eighth. Intervals are called melodic intervals when they are sounded separately, and harmonic intervals when they are sounded together. So you see here, this is a melodic fifth because the notes are played separately. When we play them at the same time, that creates harmony. So this would be a harmonic fifth. Even-numbered intervals of seconds, fourths, sixths, and octaves are written from line to space or space to line. One note's going to be on a line, one note's going to be on a space. And that is true for all of the even-numbered intervals. One's a line note, one is a space note. The odd-numbered intervals of unisons, thirds, fifths, and sevenths are written from line to line or space to space. Both notes are going to be on a line, or both notes are going to be on a space in all of the odd-numbered intervals. Number 1, name the intervals. So you see this is a fourth. And the way I figure that out, I count from the bottom note, 1, 2, 3, 4. This would be a second. This would be a sixth. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This would be a third. This would be an octave or an eighth. From an A up to an A. This is the interval of a fifth. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And this is a unison or prime. And this is a seventh. An easy way to think of a seventh, I think of it as an octave minus 1. So a B up to a B would be an octave. We go back 1, and that would be your seventh. It's a little faster than having to count up 7. Next, it says, indicate whether the following are melodic or harmonic by writing an H or an M. So remember, if they're played separately, that is a melodic interval. If they're played at the same time, that is a harmonic interval. So you see this one is melodic. This one is harmonic. Harmonic. Melodic, melodic, harmonic, and melodic. Next, we're going to write the harmonic interval as indicated above the following notes. So if it's a harmonic interval, we have to write the note exactly straight above it. The exception is a harmonic second. Because there's not room to write this note right here, we write it off to the side, but with it touching that note. Those are still played at the same time. Alright, so a harmonic fourth above D would be G. A harmonic fifth above D would be A. A unison would be this note again, but they're touching, they're played at the same time, which is a unison. I guess that's the way you do that. A third above A is a C. An octave above C is a C up here, middle C. A seventh above G. Think of a seventh as an octave minus 1. So here's G, G, and go back one. There's your seventh. And a sixth above F would be D. This concludes today's lesson on intervals.